side. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yes. Put them in close midi.
We don't have our coaches though. I mean, they'll come soon, I hope.
We don't have coaches.
It's fine, we draft.
Well, Supa's going to try and clear the wave. That's a huge wave stacked and nowhere takes the kill. Razork, he's only level 4. He's knocked away with the Buster Shot, but he'll survive through the explosive charge. And now Fresskowy's in for a world of hurt. 4-0 already for Fnatic. Oh, Myrwn tried to trade in with a new to work. Oscar able to dash away. Myrwn's used 2 other Qs, and Oscar slams the Intopos in his face. 8-0. Alvaro gonna be caught out here as Supa's just deleted. Fresskowy down as well. Alvaro falls.
There were no coaches there to draft. That explains it. No, I'm kidding. As we agreed upon, it was fine. It was the early game, I guess, that was an issue for MDK, if you look at it, because Fnatic absolutely steamrolled it. I think, once again, Razork had a great start to everything, and this time, Eragon, they absolutely closed the door immediately.
Yeah, I think it's crazy, considering there was like 6 AD carry bans, an R5 Blitzcrank support for Alvaro, and yet Noah pulls out the Lucian Milio, and they managed to find these crazy dives without any condition trades. It was full HP,
I thought
just like that, yeah.
The setup for this gank is so interesting, right? Because it starts off as a split map where Elyoya takes enemy red buff, takes his own blue buff, and then moves up towards the top side. So there's no one to cover for it, realistically speaking, and just instantly, it's like a reverse of last game. Mad Lions now don't have the bot lane ahead.
And I absolutely love that solo kill from Oscar. You know, you have the proactive level 6 where the enemy top lane is still level 5 and 530, and you get level 6 first, and you manage to find it through the wall. It was just really well played, and I'm really glad to see that he's stepping it up a bit now.
Yeah, it's nice to see indeed, also kind of for confidence and momentum in this series for Oscar. This is a great game. But then they didn't let their foot off the pedal at all, Guldborg. Do you think that is a little bit of that game 1 coming back, knowing that, okay, we have a similar situation, but we gave it up last time?
Yeah, I think game 1 for sure shouldn't have ended like the way it did. You're completely right about that, and it definitely makes you more disciplined going into the next game when you find yourself in the same situation. It certainly felt that way, and with bot lane also being ahead in this state with, I don't know, Noah being almost 2k up at 14 minutes as well.
Helps.
That certainly helps the situation, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. When we look at MDK then, you guys were talking about, just in the break, about how you're always going to get the same MDK, the same spice, or the same way they want to approach a game, no matter the state of the game or the draft. Is that correct, Eragon?
Yeah, we definitely have been seeing stuff that have been like overlapping between games, right? We see Myrwn trying to consistently flank here. It was a bit of less of a good angle, I feel like, because you had more of a front-to-back composition where the flanking opportunity wasn't as good as on the Akali. Also, you had in the mid-game the classic Elyoya plus Alvaro duo running around like this, yeah, and trying to find plays. I think they got a shutdown onto Humanoid, but unfortunately it went over to the Blitzcrank, and that was absolutely tragic. Still, really good. This is iconic MDK.
There comes a point in time when you have to stop becoming League of Legends players and start becoming bounty hunters instead. And you just look at the shutdowns, and that's your next objective in the game. And that's kind of what happened here, because you're so far behind. But even when this works for them, in a grand scheme of team fights, and here's the flanks from Myrwn, for example, where they try to come in from behind, you just don't have the wallets to put up with Fnatic.
And I think ultimately the problem comes down to the fact that you kind of just have a front-to-back team composition versus another front-to-back team composition, and whoever's carries are more fed are just going to burn through the tanks quicker. The tanks are going to be tankier because of the global gold, and in the end, your team is just going to win.
Yeah, we called it out in the beginning as well, the fact that you need the Maokai to lock up or the Blitzcrank. But, you know, if you're in a situation where you're so far behind, even if that happens, you won't kill the target anyway, or you'll all get killed for it. So a little bit risky in that regard, so they probably won't run that back.
No, I mean, and to sum it up as well, going in from this one, I think from your ban perspective as well, Eragon, you've been heavily criticizing the 5 bans on the AD carries already, and I think you could easily swap one of those out, especially the Ezreal in the first rotation for either the Karma, but especially the brand here.
Come on.
Exactly, because I think they even didn't first pick it, right? You gave them the Karma, which is already a super strong flex pick in this meta. Then you had the Maokai, and then straight still giving them the brand again, where Razork just runs away with it.
No, I think I just have to echo your points. I think 6 AD carry bans, and the center pinch seems to have really hurt Supa. I feel like Mad Lions Koi, I can't remember when they haven't been playing center. Before that, I think it was Azaya Rakan, so maybe some champion pull issues. It does seem like, though, even with all of these AD carry bans, they're still struggling down bot side.
They're going back on the blue side, so maybe they have identified the same things, because we saw, of course, a win. But even in game 1, it wasn't as clear-cut, though. I think you still have to argue that you need to take that brand off the table. What else has to change?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a good start, and I think they need to make sure that they have Razork tracked here. I think it cost them a lot, even if he was on brand on a different champion. The fact he was allowed to get that dive off in the early game, when you had the split map in bot side, you should have had the information of where the jungler is.
Happening.
Exactly. So you should have had that information. You need to make sure you're coming in stable to the mid game, because I think that despite being a lot of gold down, Mad Lions Core is still showing strong team fights where they rival Fnatic, and if they come in with an even footing, they're looking scary against Fnatic.
I think my biggest question is what's going to happen to this Karma pick as well. Is Red Side going to ban it on first rotation? Because both teams are utilizing the Prior from Karma extremely well, and I think it's 2-0 in the series at the moment, and it's really good for Fresskowy because it helps him neutralize versus a Humanoid, but it's also good for Humanoid to play with Prior with the jungler. So I really wonder what's going to happen with that.
Me too, and I wonder if Myrwn is going to think, no, you can't be solo killing me. I want to take over the game because that's usually what I do. Let's see who can hoist themselves up to match point as we head over to our casters.
Thank you very much, Afia, as we are here for the cast once again. I'm Medi, that's Vedi. We've been here the whole day.
We have. You haven't
And
seen us,
we'll be
but
here
our
tomorrow as well.
voices.
Yeah, just like your dulcet tones, Vedius.
So we're at 1-on-1. We've got an interesting series on our hands. The last best 5 that we saw last week ended in a 3-0. And, you know, every time Mad Lions Koi and Fnatic face off, it was MDK favored during the regular season. It was Fnatic favored at the beginning of the playoffs. And now we've had 2 very different games where I would say game 1 was close back and forth until MDK really used their range to their advantage and was able to find some great outplays in the skirmishes and the team fights. Game 2, just a stomp from Fnatic. Just a flat-out stomp from the get-go. So let's see how things shape up. Mad Lions love being on the blue side. They're going to look to get rid of the Kalista again. I imagine the Ashe will... Yep. The question is, where does Maokai fall? I like that Fnatic are choosing to ban away the Karma this time around. It's been slipping its way through the draft, and I think we can all agree Karma's a little strong on 14.2, which is the patch that we're playing on. And it's now going to be the brand. So Razork no longer will be allowed that champion. I imagine that Hwei and Xin will become his next priority picks. So where does the Senna fall? Will Fnatic allow the Senna to go through for Mad Lions? But remember, Varus is up. They could just choose to make that trade. Do you want to give up Senna for the potential of getting Varus? Or are you that afraid of one of those two? And it looks like that they say, you know what? If you want Varus, you can have it. We have an answer.
And there we are, locked in immediately. What do Fnatic answer? Jungle AD, often they go on 1-2.
I imagine it's something Hwei.
Yeah.
Usually they love to play those diving champions into low mobility AD carries. With the Ashe
Ezreal
gone,
makes sense as well.
are they really going to go for the Ezreal? I mean, I think what made this very strong was the combination with Ashe. Now, don't get me wrong, Noah, as an individual, played his Ezreal very, very well. He's already debunked the Ezreal claims. He passed the Lucian exam.
Yes.
And now he's going to show us something new with the Ezreal because he's going to have a different support paired alongside it.
No Ashe, no Karma to pair alongside it, often what we see. There's the Maokai. So it is AD jungle, or could be Maokai support, of course. Expect to see this in the jungle, though, for Razork.
The only reason why I sound surprised is because Razork, well, Fnatic and Mad, their junglers generally away from Maokai. They ban Maokai a lot. They generally don't want to play it, but obviously it's within their wheelhouse. We saw it from Elyoya last game. We're seeing it from Razork now. And the Ivern response, that was banned away from them so far in this series, but Elyoya finally going to get his hands on it alongside the Nautilus. So you imagine that the support should come through here for Fnatic, but they have been prioritizing the K'Sante here.
Yeah.
So they might just look to lock that one in right now.
I'm debating if you pick Braum, right? Do you just go Ez Braum? It's not the most powerful bot 2v2, but Ez's passive, the stacking attack speed, can actually give you a lot of threat with the concussive blows. Instead, it's Rell.
Mao support.
Could be Mao support Rell jungle as well.
Rell jungle.
They still have that flexibility. Does mean, though, that if Mad Lions Koi want to, they can get rid of the K'Sante. Obviously, Oscarinin can play other champions and has done, but K'Sante has been what he has looked towards in both the games so far today.
Well, based on the trend, you expect, I was going to say, Fnatic will likely do something like an Orianna K'Sante ban. Yeah. They're choosing to ban away the K'Sante this time round. Do they care about the Orianna still? Jax. I'm trying to think of what this suggests for Myrwn.
Jax is really good into AD Twisted Fate top. I don't know if that's what they're picking.
TF is already banned.
Well, then it's probably not going to be AD Twisted
But
Fate top.
Jayce is something we see a lot from Myrwn. They could be thinking about the poke. Remember the Varus can go top, it's Myrwn.
Oh, yeah, true. That's true. He went to the Kerberos school of top lane.
Yeah, there is always that. The Akali ban as well. So this could indicate an Azir priority for Fnatic with the Orianna taken away. Hwei is up. Mad Lions usually prefer to ban it. Okay, this time Humanoid is just going to log that one in. So a lot of range on the side of Fnatic.
Azir plus top. Now, as you said, Jayce a possibility for Myrwn. Could look... they might just pick the Gragas for top lane here.
Well, they've got to blind something. They know that Oscar's going to get the answer or the counter pick.
We will see where Mad Lions Koi decide to go. This is how drafts evolve across the course of a best-of series as well. Gragas can be played mid. Could see Fresskowy pick it up. He is the only player on Mad Lions Koi that has played the Gragas.
And Kai'Sa. Now, I'm expecting this Kai'Sa to go mid lane, but because it's Myrwn, I don't know yet.
And Fresskowy's played it once as well, right?
Yes.
So
he did play the Kai'Sa last week. Or actually, maybe, yeah, it was definitely last week. So I imagine Gragas top, Varus AD carry, Nautilus support, Kai'Sa mid.
And you're trying to match the range of the Hwei in the mid lane as well with the Kai'Sa. The Prey Seeker can do quite a bit of work. The Rell, is it going to be jungle? It is, it looks like, for Razork. We're going to have the Maokai for Jun.
So you've got...
Oh, is it Varus top?
Is it Varus top? And they put Kai'Sa bot. I mean, Kai'Sa used to be an answer into Ezreal because it was kind of like a free lane with apostrophes around it.
And you can chase him, right? When he ease away, you can chase him with your killer instinct, right?
Yeah, the idea being that Ezreal doesn't really have kill pressure in 2v2, depending on what the support is, of course. So Kai'Sa can just freely scale up. By putting the Gragas in mid, they've offered a lot more disengage. And then, okay, but the Myrwn Varus top again. Yeah. So for those that didn't see it in the regular season, he played this into Cassante, but he did say himself that he thinks that this is just a good top laner in general. He typically goes to the on-hit build. He'll usually run something like the lethal tempo or the press the attack, yes. And then he'll like go damage, and then Jack Show or something, right? Like he, okay, we're gonna get to see Myrwn's Varus top once again. Oscarinin picking the Jayce gives him a little bit of range. Should be a slightly easier matchup, but Varus does a lot of damage.
He really does, yeah. But the range into range makes it a little trickier for Myrwn in that top lane. Often see it into tanks, it does so much work. But now, with the series being at 1-1, MDK continue to show us they are willing to experiment at both the teams. They're looking towards that top lane. Push control so important.
Oh, here we go.
Is this just going to be a 5v5? Who gets into the bush first? Oh, I'm going to give it to Oscarinin. Fresskowy was on his way as well. Elyoya is going to base check. There's the hook on Jun, the flash away. Razork dashes in as well. Fresskowy already down to half HP. The Ignites are ticking, and Jun is low. He flashes away. The chase continues. Razork hasn't got a hope in hell of escaping this one, and Supa claims another. MDK 2-0 up and hook. Make it 3 for the Mad Lions.
3-0 at level 1. Both teams make a beeline to the top lane, but it is MDK that walk away with the kills. Wow, I mean, what even is there to break down? So the hook immediately from Alvaro. Good flash from him to avoid the knockup from Razork, but now he's all out of juice. It was Fresskowy that held on to his E to be able to get that follow-up engage, and then the double AD carries on the chase down, flash in from Supa, and then the hook cooldown comes back up. The root connects from Elyoya. I mean, double AD carries this early on, you just have more damage.
Yep, you really do. Fresskowy doing a great job of catching out the backline with the body slam flash as well. Noah holding on to his flash, cost him his life. And now, MDK will come down towards this bottom lane with an extra longsword. Myrwn will go up towards the top lane with an extra longsword. Gone for the Arcane Comet in this lane. Looking more to try and poke the Jayce, match the pressure the Jayce can put down.
Wow, haven't seen a level 1 like that in a while.
I'm a happy camper, man.
I mean, it's Fnatic versus Maz. This is very quickly becoming one of our bloodiest matchups in the LEC. As we've already talked so much about, these teams love to skirmish. Absolutely love it. Nice interrupt there from Jun. Uses the Q just as the hook connects to create a bit of space between him and Alvaro. But we kind of take stock of the map. Obviously, gold leads in favor of MDK all across the board, except for mid, just because of that small CS difference. But Varus, with this early longsword, extra pot as well, that's going to be a lot tougher for Oscarinin to have to deal with.
And with Myrwn holding onto his flash as well, it becomes very tough for Razork to look up towards this top lane, because if Razork jumps in, if Myrwn dodges it with a flash, Razork's not long for the world. You know, Myrwn's going to chunk through him with that percentage HP. And the only lane leading for Fnatic is mid, as you say. Myrwn gets the crash in here. Razork on his red. Just finishes it up. Actually went Wolves into Razorbeaks into Krugs into red, I believe. Now he's going to spot out Elyoya, level 4 to level 3. Stun connects with the Shattering Strike. Fresskowy is only at 250 HP, but Alvaro is on his way across. Humanoid flashes the hook. Razork forced away by the Ivern. Just continues to chip away at him. The red buff helping here, puts the bush up for that little bit of extra damage and forces Razork out of this top side.
This is going to open up a potential double scuttle. Elyoya looking for camps to steal. Will drop that ward deep into Razork's jungle as well. Actually, I say that. He doesn't care about the scuttle crabs. He's looking for a dive. No mana available on Oscarinin.
Oscar has flash. Can he outplay? Jumps onto Elyoya, but I think he just loses this one. The root caller comes out. Oscar still has the flash, but the red buff slow will be enough. Oscar taken out by the tree.
And it's a thumbs up from Myrwn. TP is available for Oscar, but the wave is gone. That gold lead is going to just get even bigger between the top laners. Fnatic need to find something, because this game is very quickly falling out of their control.
It's 4-0 already. It's giving me flashbacks to game 2. Obviously, Fnatic were on the blue side in that game, and often in a game like this, it just seems so hard to find ways to get back into the game, because you're always outnumbered, you're always outdamaged. You can see Elyoya already 2-0-2, has the Ionian Boots of Lucidity. Alvaro is going to team up with him. And across the board, MDK just have leads in every lane but mid.
So now MDK bring their pressure towards the bot side of the map. So if you could highlight the size of the wave here, I wonder if they have enough to actually threaten a dive. Yeah, that wave is stacking. And so, nice timing from MDK to try and threaten something, but it looks like it's going to be difficult to pull off. Keep eyes on mid as well. Fresskowy has the push, making it difficult for Humanoid potentially to roam. But instead MDK, they're going to deter from it for now.
The risk always is with diving a Maokai and an Ezreal. Like, Ezreal has enough escapes and held the flash at the level 1, so still has that flash up. Maokai has the twisted advance as well. So it's very easy for them to avoid your damage while you're still taking tower aggro. Humanoid, no flash. Alvaro tanks. Humanoid will put the fear down. The gaze will not be enough to stop Alvaro landing the hook. The fear does not dissuade MDK from finding the fight.
And it's an easy, it's another easy dive done by MDK. They showed us this in game 1. They make it look clean, the way they bring Alvaro out onto the map. He's very effective at having his presence known. Nice interrupt there from Jud. Also trying to hold the wave for Humanoid so he doesn't lose as much farm. Pretty much keeps the entire wave there, so credit to him. But wow, MDK, now the team that's snowballing. We won in game 1. Fnatic got mad, they punched back. MDK now got even madder, punch back again.
I mean, they were the original mad.
That's true.
So, doesn't make sense.
Does Elyoya know, though, that Razork is here?
He doesn't. He's locked up, he's stunned up, he has the flash, has the trigger seed as well. Will he be able to get away from this one? Knocked out by Oscarinin, but Oscarinin can just change forms and auto. Elyoya flashes back into the bush. Elyoya flashes back. No way does he get out of this?
Elyoya with a great flash. The brush placement was incredible. He used it to create this fog of war. Oscarinin didn't know which way he flashed, had no tools left to chase.
Yeah, I thought Humanoid was the best artist in the game, but Elyoya's brush just too good for
What'd you say? Elyoya, absolute cinema, perhaps?
It was absolute cinema from Elyoya. It's like an M. Night Shyamalan twist.
Oh, we're going to get a replay.
They see him, they catch him.
So the damage is good to start off, but look at this brush placement. Can we see what Oscarinin sees? Yeah, perfect. Oh, no, we can't.
Now we can only see what Razork sees, and what he sees is a grey screen. Elyoya takes the kill, 3-0-3 now on the Ivern.
A killing spree for Ivern. I feel like that we're just watching a replay of game 2.
Like the end result of climate change. The trees are damn mad now, buddy.
The trees are getting their revenge indeed. But what a start for MDK. In a perfect position, and what more could you want? Double AD carry with your Ivern getting stronger and stronger. You have to feel like that they have such a great scaling composition. Looks like it will be AD Kai'Sa. You never really know. But wow, advantages gained across the entire map. 2 gold lead in mid. Ah, he's lost it.
Still, a 2,000 gold lead for Mad Lions Koi. I think they'll be happy enough even if their mid laner is ever so slightly behind.
I think that they'll manage, yes. Dragon is available. 1 yet to be secured.
Fnatic did manage to pick up all 3 of the grubs. Elyoya here, only level 5, has no flash, and Jun's on his way. Elyoya stepped a little bit too deep here. The Severing Bolt, twisted advance flash forward. Elyoya knocked away. But the Severing Bolt's enough. Fresskowy re-engages, lands the knockback onto Jun. Ignite ticking on him as well as that tree will fall. The Killer Instinct enough. Razork tries to get away, but he's pulled back. It's a double for Fresskowy.
They turn it round. Fnatic get their first kill of the game. But the collapse from Supa and Alvaro was perfect. Supa can use his ultimate to close the gap in that fight incredibly quickly, and he does just that. MDK converted into 2 more kills. And look at how much was committed here by Fnatic. Over the wall, Razork goes, he connects the stun, he then uses his ultimate to try and deny the blast cone. Then the flash has to come out from Jun. And while they do get that initial kill, they initiate this in a 2v1, but that was such a good ult from Fresskowy, creating space between them and Humanoid, but also locking Jun down. No flash available, and the damage from Supa ends up being Fresskowy getting himself 2 kills.
And as the AP threat on the team, it's really good for him to get these early kills. He's only sitting on a lost chapter right now, but we'll go back and look towards that first item. Drake still a possibility for these teams. But neither team really wanting to focus on it as of yet. Fnatic just marching to the beat of MDK's drum. Razork looking to find stuff in this top lane, but Myrwn still so safe. Has that long-range poke as well. The wave crashing towards him means he can stand a little bit further back and catch. Instead, he'll stand forward and bait perhaps for Elyoya to turn a 2v2 around.
Elyoya is hovering. Oscarinin. There's no real need to overstep here. The wave is in an awkward spot, but he also realizes that, hey, let's count the number of people on the map. Right now, I don't see anyone. I do not like this.
Alvaro on his way across. No wave close enough for them to dive Oscarinin, and Oscarinin will back away, respect the fact that a fight could begin.
What's the cross-map option here for Fnatic? It looks like that they are drawn towards mid lane. Razork.
Gonna dive at Gragas?
They're gonna try.
They're gonna try. Fresskowy dashes away. Oh, okay, well.
Bit of a
that
mistake.
tower needed a drink, apparently. Fresskowy just watering the plants.
It happens, it happens. Ultimately, MDK are gonna be happy with the place that they secured in top. Oscarinin should be able to get a bit of this farm back. But I like the response there from Fnatic. Typically, you'd see a cross-map invested towards bot side, but Fnatic weren't really in a good spot, so they instead committed to making a play in mid. Humanoid should be able to get himself a plate there, if he hasn't
putting
already.
so much into setting Oscarinin behind. He tried to get back here, walk back up to the wave. Root Caller just wide. Chain of Corruption available for Myrwn. Flashes, lands the chain. The flash away from Oscarinin, not enough. Daisy gets the knock-up, and Myrwn takes the kill. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, Supa flashes away from the Shadowing Strike, escapes the stun, but will lose a wave to the tower, probably 2. That's not enough.
Sees it coming. Supa does have to lose his flash, but he lives, whereas Oscar doesn't. A really nice flash predict for Myrwn. Myrwn flashing first, knowing that Oscar's going to flash in the hopes of dodging that ultimate with the Chain of Corruption, and it ends up connecting with him anyway. Another kill in the favor of MDK. 2.5k is the gold lead for them. Dragon's still up, by the way.
Yeah, because MDK only go top.
That's true.
Everyone is top all the time,
And they also haven't gone for grubs. Their whole priority has been playing for plates, really trying to funnel gold into their carries.
And I mean, Myrwn is 2,000 gold ahead. Elyoya is 800 gold ahead. The rest of the map is actually ever so slightly Fnatic favored now, as Alvaro is going to hex flash this wall to get out. Razork was doing the blue. But it does put a lot of weight on Myrwn's shoulders. He has consistently performed for MDK, but he is the entirety of their lead, pretty much.
I mean, Elyoya's been involved in the team's 9 kills.
And does have the Moonstone complete.
He does. Very much taking the support approach, as we would expect from a tree of this caliber.
I have seen AP Iverns in solo queue. They can do a lot of work there.
I've seen all sorts of things in solo queue.
True.
But it seems that Elyoya is playing for the team this time round.
That makes sense when you have 280 carries and a Gragas who is pretty fed in the mid lane. Grubs once again by Fnatic. They're going to get 6 here. So if they do manage to equalize this game, be on a bit of more of an even keel, they will have quite high threat on towers. The Drake secured for MDK as Fresskowy's on his way across, will be spotted by this ward. Elyoya was already spotted, he cleared out the ward, Daisy down. Noah has heal flash, Jun has a flash of his own as they look for the TP behind. Jun with the Nature's Grasp, Alvaro not going to tank it up for his AD carry, the cleanse immediately from Supa, but he is down. Alvaro flashes the wall with the Spiraling Despair closing in on him. Meanwhile, Fresskowy's able to take one off towards the top side, Humanoid falling low, Myrwn came in. And he secures 2 kills for his team.
Into being a 2-for-2, Razork was nowhere near the fight. So with a numbers disadvantage, Fnatic are able to find some kills, but they will lose plates as a result. I like the play from Fnatic, committing double TP to try and punish the pressure from MDK towards this bot tower. But the fact that Fresskowy could collapse in through the river, a good response TP from Myrwn, means that MDK still hold on to the lead. But I like this proactiveness that we're seeing from Fnatic. You can see Rell secures the grubs. Initially starts as a 4v5. Good pick comes out from Noah. I think Oscar oversteps it. Nice root comes out from Elyoya as Noah really commits to that kill. The Humanoid has nothing left in the tank, and he gets chased down by Myrwn.
Supa may have cleansed a second early, so we're still rooted up.
So as well. Gets that extra tenacity.
Yeah, you do, but there was enough time for Fnatic to lock him out. Obviously, Nature's Grasp into Severing Bolt is a lot of damage from Humanoid. Already has that Ludun's Companion complete. Supa now pushing in the top lane while MDK starts up the Rift Herald. Myrwn is down towards bot. No TPs on the top lane.
Fnatic going to try and contest this.
I mean, they might just look for Alvaro. He tries to hook away, but Jun is there with a twisted advance, and Alvaro is going to pay for his hubris with his life. Boys, he shields right at the final moment. True shot barrage enough to take him out. Rift Herald secured by Elyoya. Razork flash stun, Shadowing Strike. Supa has no flash. And the Severing Bolt dash to the side of.
Fnatic definitely not down and out just yet. Root connects and Daisy will follow it. Shouldn't be in too much danger though as Razork walks away from that one. Kill in exchange for Herald. Skirmishes continue to break out on the map. I just love that from both these teams. Oh, Humanoid. Whoa!
Grasping more Spiraling Despair. He'll wait for the slow, the Severing Bolt!
Beautiful combo from Humanoid.
It's absolute cinema, Vedi.
That was absolute cinema. Humanoid showing his understanding of the champion there. And as you rightly said, it was the stacking slow from his ultimate to guarantee the hit on the Severing Bolt, which also does more damage the lower your HP. So he pretty much guaranteed the execute. Very well played from him. Gold gap is closing.
Yeah, down to about 1,400.
You already mentioned it earlier. It's largely sitting on top of Myrwn.
Let's
see if Jun can change this. He has the ultimate.
Myrwn's flash like 3 seconds away from coming back up. There's the Nature's Grasp. They'll get him with the first root. Chain of Corruption goes down. Jun look for the twisted advance, and Myrwn will fall, and Jun will escape. Perfect tanking there by Fnatic. A huge shutdown going into the pockets of Oscar.
And Humanoid even caught the wave on bot. All right, so Fnatic really min-maxing everything there. There's a top wave for Oscarinin to immediately go and catch as well. Fnatic, another good pick. They're just, in this mid-game, I'm kind of surprised it's not being driven by Razork. It's mainly Jun that's roaming around the map looking for picks where he can. Typically, we'll see Razork being that player that when Fnatic is behind, he's the one trying to initiate. But when you are on this Rell, it's very different to something like a Xin or a Hwei that we'll often see him on in the regular season.
I also think it's because Jun is running Hex Clash. And so when you're playing from a position where you're behind, you need to skirt around a lot more vision than you usually would have to because you don't have the tools to deny it as easily. So you can Hex Smash over the walls as we saw him do there. Alvaro stepping forward here. Aftershock down, Humanoid low, but he gets healed back up and Alvaro falls. TP in by Myrwn as he looks to join this. Fresskowy, in fact, is the one joining the fray. Myrwn was already in the mid lane. Spiraling Despair on Fresskowy will be shielded up by that Trigger Seed. But again, Fnatic find a pick. It's Alvaro looking for the engages, and it is a bit of a struggle for MDK to find those engages unless it's Alvaro going in.
For context, it was 11-1.
Yep.
Fnatic now find themselves at 11-7, and only a 900 gold difference, about 1,000, separates the two teams. So it is Fnatic being proactive on the map. They are slowly clawing their way back into this game, and it's just by punishing and picking off MDK around the map.
Riptide charges in the mid lane. This will be a tower. Fnatic started to push up towards the top side. May even get a second charge off here. Noah is there to answer.
Swiftly not the strongest Humanoid, in some danger.
Oh, he gets hit up. The body slam, I thought it was a little bit wide, but there's the knockback with the explosive cask, and Fresskowy goes unstoppable.
And MDK finally get a kill for themselves. It's been a bit of a dry streak, but they're able to secure another one. Extend it to 12, and their gold lead as well, back to 2K, unlocking that mid tower. All ladder towers now down. And MDK reminding us they are still in control of this game for the time being.
They definitely are, but Fnatic have shown us some signs of life. They have the range as well to play back from MDK's engage potential. You're looking at hooks, you're looking at explosive casks, perhaps a root caller from Elyoya, but there's enough tools in Fnatic's toolkit to escape it! As Elyoya smites the dragon to secure it. There's a full 1,200 HP smite, so even with the Ezreal ult coming in, it's very unlikely to steal it away. Myrwn here, stepping up towards the top lane. That tower's going to fall. Doesn't quite go down. Myrwn there to force them away, but Jun's just going to tank. Flash, Twisted Advance, dodges the Chain of Corruption, and Myrwn is done for. Fnatic get another kill. They get a tower in the top lane. The gold lead shrinks.
The pings come down from MDK to immediately push in mid, but Noah's already there to hold the wave.
Noah's at 2 items before Supa is as well.
He is. He has a small gold lead for the time being. He's just been sitting alone, farming where he can. Of course, let's not forget Supa, been one of the targets of the attacks from Fnatic. Noah's only death was as a result of that level 1, where MDK did secure themselves 3 kills. But MDK, they lose their first tower of the game. Still mainly in control. But it's going to be interesting because you look at Fnatic's comp, they have a lot of range, right? You have a lot of poke, Jayce, Ezreal, Hwei, a lot of potential chip damage. Also their follow-up engage. Maokai plus Rell are really powerful. Whoa.
Alright, so one of those was the real flash, the other was a hex flash.
Yeah, and I was woeing the real flash. I don't know what the plan was there from Razork.
Kill Elyoya, I believe.
Is this the new plan?
intent.
Nope, okay. Well, Dragon is not going to be up anytime soon. So, color me surprised. Either way, nothing too consequential for now. We'll see if it comes back to bite Razork later.
Definitely could do. He's caught out with an explosive
When
cast,
his
knocked
bot
back.
has the TP available,
Look
so
at where Fresskowy is, buddy. He's flanked. This is a huge flank from Fresskowy. If he can get around the corner here, he's not going to be spotted on vision, and Fnatic are unaware. TP in the mid lane, there's the hook. Here comes Fresskowy immediately onto Noah, gets the knockback onto Humanoid, but Fresskowy is deleted before MDK can follow up. Humanoid caught with the Chain of Corruption, and he'll fall in response. Both mid lane is dead, as Sjun will follow suit. A double for Supa, and a great flank from Fresskowy, only getting them 2 in the end, though.
it costs him his life, but I love the flank from Fresskowy. We've been praising Myrwn for his flanks throughout this series, but this time it was the mid laner who shone. MDK, they're not done yet though. They want to move into the jungle, steal away what they can, and they should be able to steal away this red buff. MDK, with another 1 fight, put more pressure onto Fnatic.
Gold lead still within a K, but 2 dragons to the good now. MDK gonna take away that red buff as well, and this is all on Fresskowy. He's waited there for a long, long time.
That Nautilus ultimate as well gets a small knock up onto Noah, but a big one onto Humanoid. They flash immediately. Humanoid throws that final Q in a kind of awkward direction, but there wasn't much left he could do. I believe it was the Chain of Corruption that also connected onto...
Humanoid.
Oh, I thought it was actually on Jun. That's what rooted him up at the very end.
That was the Ivern Q.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of CC though on the
There's a
side of
lot of
MDK is the
I was
point.
actually about to mention that. I think if Fnatic, if they find these picks, they're really, they can be really impactful, right? And they do have the range to poke out before a fight begins. But if they're ever on the back foot, there's just so much follow-up CC. You've got dredge lines, you've got the body slam, you've got Chain of Corruption,
I mean,
you have a root
against
caller.
SK, I think that they had a really good long-range composition, but then they didn't. They keep trying to force fights rather than leveraging their range to kind of chip away at the opponent's HP bars. You can see a Q and both Qs missed from Noah and Oscarinin there.
Root caller onto Humanoid.
But I think Fnatic just need to be a little more patient. Wait for Humanoid to connect those spells. Allow Noah to chip where he can. And that's the type of damage that I'm talking about. Now Elyoya finds himself at 50% HP. Now it's a little more awkward for MDK. The dragon spawning in about a minute's time does give him an opportunity to go back to base and heal up if he wants to. I imagine Fnatic are going to transition their pressure from mid towards this bot Scuttle Crab, secure that vision. But in that window, of course, you do leave this mid wave open for MDK to secure.
Noah has flash, Humanoid
Okay,
does
they go
not.
for the engage.
Alvaro lands the hook, there's the depth charge onto the back line, but look at the tank from Razork. Alvaro now has to flash away, the Twisted Advance going to chase him down, but the Redemption will heal him back up just in time. And Razork dives in, it's 1-for-1 so far. Noah dashing away from the root caller, Humanoid opening up with the Spiraling Despair. And Myrwn can only stand and watch as he is painted into the abyss by Humanoid. Fnatic find 2. Elyoya, Fresskowy and Supa still alive to try and defend the Dragon up in 20 seconds time.
Whew, these fights are very close. Fnatic this time getting to play more of a front to back and chipping away at MDK's HP. It was Razork's engage that kind of opened that window. Wait, Mad?
They can do it.
They're going to do it.
I mean, I really like the call because you assume Fnatic is going to path down towards the Dragon. Fnatic, though, wise to it. Put down the far side automation and will spot it. The True Shot Barrage used as well afterwards to see that these recalls are happening. It does mean MDK will give up this Drake. It would have been their third of the game, but they're not going to be able to get back out on the map in time. And Noah has already started up.
A small test you'll often see from many teams,
Yep.
you know. If I just touch this, are you going to do anything about it? But Fnatic did respond, and as you rightly said, did leave open an opportunity for Fnatic to secure their first Dragon of the game.
I want to come back to something we were talking about earlier. Myrwn's lead in the top lane, Vedi, because when I look at that number between the Varus and the Jayce now, it is surprisingly red. An almost 1,000 gold lead for Oscarinin. He has picked up a couple of bounties in these last 2 fights, and it has put him actually ahead of Myrwn in terms of itemization. Now 3 items on the Jayce. The poke from Fnatic really starts to become a problem for Mad Lions Koi. They are lucky that Elyoya has both Moonstone and Redemption, so he can trigger Seed through a lot of that damage. But if the Seed isn't down in time, then damage will stick.
Siege comes through from Fnatic. They equalize the turrets. Fresskowy has a nice push in bot lane. Problem is there's no wards. Observers, if we have an opportunity to highlight the vision that MDK have on the map right now, you can see that it is quite dark. A bit of information gained from the plant on the bottom right from Fresskowy, but MDK kind of need to now reclaim some control over the map. They have good push in bot, which gives them an opportunity to create numbers. Oh, okay, or just force Baron, that's also fine, I guess.
Fresskowy's going to try and catch out Oscar, and he'll do exactly that. The killer instinct in is Supa. Claims the bounty. Will MDK pull off this Baron now? Daisy tanking it up, Jun going forward, Alvaro tries to land a hook, the aftershock out, the depth charge used as well as Fresskowy gets onto Noah on the backline, he still has heal flash, and he dashes away. Stopwatch from Fresskowy buys him a little bit of time as another hook connects and Jun will fall. MDK have found 2 so far in this fight, and Humanoid can't put down any more meaningful damage onto them.
I mean, credit to Fresskowy. The Baron being used as bait. Oscarinin was not expecting that trap whatsoever. Supa using the ultimate to follow up results in an assassination and a big shutdown. I think that was 900 gold that went over to Supa as well. And then Fnatic sort of scrambling to still contest the Baron that was being started ends up costing them another member. The good news for Fnatic is that the Baron wasn't taken. MDK used that as an opportunity to go back to base, buy a few more items. You can see 3rd item now completed for Myrwn. The 3 fully completed support items for Elyoya.
3rd item on Noah as well, don't spear now complete on the Ezreal. He showed us last week just how powerful he can be. Hasn't had as much of an opportunity to really show off in this game, but if he's given time in a team fight, he can absolutely pop off. I have to remember, this game was a 5-0 lead for MDK in the early game. They were 11-1 up, and now Fresskowy looks for the flank, and he finds both the carries! Fresskowy, you absolute beauty! He finds them both. Alvaro trying to get him from the side. Humanoid picked off by Myrwn. The chains just dodged by Oscar with the flash. But both the carries now dead for Fnatic. Oscar's still alive.
Fresskowy is just everywhere right now. He consistently finds the backline of Fnatic. Fnatic now need to stall 30 seconds until Humanoid's TP is up.
They have no vision as well, just 1 control ward and a couple of small ones from Jun. Now put the control ward into the pit.
Can Razork get in?
Razork has flash. He has the dash. Jun going forward, but Alvaro, I think, knocks back Razork as he tries to jump across.
Yes, he does. The ultimate was used, knocks him up mid, leap, I guess? Yeah, a bit of an interrupt. That's annoying for MDK, but they're not going to be too upset about that. Baron finally secured. We look back at this play, and I mean, nothing but praise for Fresskowy, sitting in that pocket of darkness. A great ultimate into follow-up. He does lose his life, but then watch Myrwn here. Uses the Ghost Blade to get that bonus movement speed, and then the Q connects, the carries are dead. Very well played from MDK. And nothing but praise for Fresskowy. This man has found great fights consistently. I feel like this team was always talking about the flanks. We saw it from Myrwn earlier, we're seeing it from Fresskowy now. Great stuff from this MDK roster.
I think Fresskowy as well, often seen as not a role player, but more of a utility player for this MDK lineup. You have Myrwn in the top lane, you have Supa in the bot lane, you've got Elyoya in the jungle. All three of those, they're key carries. But over the last couple of weeks, Fresskowy's really shown us that he can put his carry pants on from time to time as well. The Tristana last week, now the Gragas in this game. Elyoya flashes away from Razork, the stun not quite connecting there. Fresskowy on his way across, Daisy's going to get the knock up. Alvaro and Myrwn up towards the top of the fight with Supa joining them. We'll just shepherd Fnatic back through their jungle. Alvaro's going to try and set up a bit of a gate here, making it so Fnatic can't take the easy route to their tower. Razork's going to try to. Alvaro doesn't really want to try and pick up the tank in the fight. Fresskowy still in the mid lane, does have TP. Poke from Myrwn, starting to put some damage down on Humanoid and Oscar. Only a couple of minions surviving. Just the cannon now as Noah chips away at it, and we'll take it. Arcane shifts out. Fresskowy's going to push through mid. Oscar's answering him. Razork on his way across to the mid lane as well. Supa can tank that tower for a couple of shots with the trigger seed. Mid lane wave cleared. Not quite synced as well as MDK would like this, because it gives Fnatic time to move to mid, to move to top. But it looks like they are just going to give away this top lane tower as MDK take the first turret of this push. Might look for more. Daisy down once again. Empowered sapling though from the bushes. Alvaro chunked away a little bit, has his Myrwn. Razork, no flash, but he has got the Magnet Storm. Nature's Gas coming out, tanked up. Alvaro cleansed away as he looks for the backline as well. The redemption coming out. Woo. Help Fresskowy take out Humanoid, and with the kill of instinct, Supa finds the first kill. Now Noah, it's all on you. He's got to open up. Fresskowy able to dash away. Razork tanking up floor, but they just can't see into the bush. There is a ward in there helping them out a little bit. Noah and Razork may just have to walk away from this as MDK will break open the base.
MDK can just weather so much damage thanks to Elyoya. The utility that he is providing is a wall that Fnatic cannot break down. Outside of just the wall of shrubberies, Monty Python would be ecstatic, but it is not something that elates Fnatic. MDK will be happy with the inhibitor. They'll look to retreat, but the damage has been done. Dragon is available, but how can Fnatic play? It feels like that they just don't have the damage to get through this shielding. We look back, Alvaro takes the brunt of the damage initially. The CC comes down, obviously Myrwn on the back line, but then look at this ult. Oh, so much damage from Fresskowy. Then the dive in from Supa to get the execution onto Oscar. And at this point, Noah's like, I can win this whole fight. But he realizes that with this giant brush wall, like, and the minions coming as well, it's just too dangerous for him to make the attempt. Dragon now going to be started up by MDK. Fnatic going to concede this one. I think they're just going to try and buy time, wait, and see if they can punish MDK as they begin their next siege.
A team with 4 rookies is going to be 1 game away from making it to our lower bracket final if they can close this one out. A team that many people doubted coming into the split, seen as Elyoya and friends. Not enough experience to challenge the big dogs, but they have proven us wrong time and time again, Vedius. And every game seems like it's on someone else's back. Here, Fresskowy really stepping up. Supa doing the same. No discredit to him. 8-3-9 on this Kai'Sa. The killer instincts consistently landing. See what Fnatic try to do here. They have the poke. Myrwn eats a chunk, takes him down to half HP, but unless Fnatic have a bit of time and land a bit of poke, unless Fresskowy starts finding these incredible flanks, looks like a hard road back for Fnatic.
Baron, 1 minute now. Fnatic already starting to feel the pressure. Couple things, just as we kind of enter a slow state. Razork's impact, there wasn't much this game. Obviously the 3-0 start didn't help. don't want to put that all on him, but you definitely feel a very different Razork when you put him on Rell compared to what we've seen from his Hwei and even his brand, right? Also, what do you do with the fact that Myrwn keeps finding ways to carry? And Elyoya's Ivern, something that was banned away from him, I imagine he's not going to be allowed it again.
That was a big flash away there by Myrwn. But look who's on the flank again. There's a control ward. Will it spot him out in time? Fnatic realize something is afoot here. Fresskowy spotted with the control ward. Fnatic can just turn on him immediately. But Humanoid just took his time, didn't flash away, and Fresskowy knocks him back. And there's another kill. He was on a control ward all along. Fnatic don't react quickly enough.
And that's the Baron now opened up for MDK. An easy objective that should be largely uncontested by Fnatic. Alvaro going to take away the blast cone. They have good vision, and Fnatic say, nope, we're not even going to bother. Fresskowy once again sets up the play for his team. And they're looking to bring it to match point. You already said it, Medic. MDK continue to surprise. Elyoya, he's no stranger to the top 3 in the LEC, though. He ended the year in disappointing fashion, but with his new squad, he is feeling confident as they now siege onto another Tier 3 tower.
The introduction of Elyoya into that Mad Lions lineup 2021 accelerated them to their 2 titles. Now is his team that is one step away from being one step away from the finals. Fnatic's last chance of defense you have to feel here. Fresskowy has the ult back up. Jun flashes forward. Supa trigger seeded. He's healed up. Humanoid low already. Razork only catches out one. Humanoid dived in. The killer instinct from Supa. Oscarinin dies. Humanoid still alive. Razork trying to flash away and escape, but Myrwn makes him pay with his life. Fresskowy down. But maybe the Nexus down to follow. MDK stepping forward. It's all on Noah to try and defend, but he just can't get through these shields. He's hooked up with the dredge line. But Humanoid just rips them to shreds! The damage from way too much and stands in the way of MDK's march to victory.
I thought that Humanoid had actually died in that last fight and that MDK were going to end it right there. But Humanoid comes back out and he buys Fnatic a little bit more time. The base is in tatters, but Fnatic not down and out yet. So it's Jun that goes in as the primary initiation. He gets chunked out. Look at the damage onto Humanoid. The Q actually goes onto Jun, and while Supa does get a kill, Humanoid still lives. Noah and Humanoid, the carries, are still alive. So Humanoid goes back to base, gets a bit of healing, and as the siege begins, let's look at this combo from Humanoid. The dive comes through from MDK, a 3-man route, the passive on the floor, and then the ultimate from Noah to finish things up. Crazy, when everyone's stacking, you get those unique passives applied onto everyone. The damage, stacking and stacking. 5.6k damage in that last fight from Humanoid alone.
I think he had just completed his Rabadons as well.
No, he'd been sitting on it for a little while.
Okay. Yeah. Oh, just so much damage from the Hwei when you have time, which he hasn't had in the last few fights because of the guy who is in the fog of war once again, Fresskowy.
He just keeps finding these flanks.
And Fnatic are realizing it as well. Do they know how deep he's gone, though? They put another ward over the wall. That will spot Fresskowy if he comes out of that bush, but he can go back down and around. He can go up and around, and that's what he'll start to do. Elyoya down to half HP already. Fresskowy taking the longest route round, but if it works, it will be
so
glorious
paranoid
for MDK, and here he comes. Fresskowy finds Humanoid, knocks him the wrong way. He gets him away, but instead, he just takes him in the 1v1. Fresskowy's going to dive forward. The grasping roots have been used. Razork already down, and MDK very healthy behind it. Noah, Jun, and Oscarinin, they have to find a way to defend. They've only got one Nexus tower alive, and there's a super wave pushing in the mid.
The soul has been secured. So much extra damage on the side of MDK. It's an open Nexus. I don't know if Fnatic have any more magic tricks. I stand corrected, 1 tower remains. The wave clear trying to come through
Alvaro
for Fnatic.
The hook back. Alvaro still tanking the tower. Myrwn falls though. Noah with the depth charge trying to get away with the killer instinct from Supa will be able to secure the kill on the enemy AD carry. Oscar does everything he can, but he can't even work his way through the Guardian Angel that sits on Supa's shoulder. And MDK are 1 win away from a glorious victory.
It was a little scary for MDK at the end, but they make it work. Elyoya with a masterclass Ivern performance. is going to put the pressure on Fnatic once more. We're going to a quick break. We'll be back in a bit.
Wow, this is amazing.
I mean, I had a break, so... do you want to try? I'll be right back.
I want to try. Me? Maybe. What am I gonna do?
Even the biggest champ needs a break.
Wow! Vedi! Incroyable, magnifique! What? No! What are you doing? What are you doing? No! Keep it! It was so good!
This was better.
Red Bull gives you wings.